Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. So it's been highly requested that I do a video just kind of talking about how I take care of my hair, how I achieve my hair color, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much anything hair related, I'm going to chat about it and answer your questions today. I am not going to make hair videos a regular thing. It is what I do as my job every single day and I love my job, but I don't want to mix it with my hobby. You will not really catch me doing hair tutorials. I will not ever do really coloring videos or hair cutting videos or anything like that. I just don't have an interest in doing those kind of videos on my channel, but I will do this video just so that in the future I can redirect you. If you have a question about my hair, I can just be like, watch this video and you'll find out. So first things first, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I have been doing it professionally for about almost 5 years now, not counting school. I don't count school. But I've been doing it professionally for about 5 years now. I really enjoy my job. I do it every single day. I have my own salon studio with my partner, Nicole. It's fantastic. I love my clients. I love what I do. And everything that I say is going to be my professional advice. I do not want anybody arguing with me, especially if you're not licensed, telling me that you do things this way, you do things that way. That's whatever. I'm not here to judge you or lecture you. Honestly, unless you're one of my clients, I can't really do anything about it anyways. Most of you do not live near me. So that's that. This is just my advice and my opinions on what I do with my hair. I'm not even necessarily saying this is how you should do your hair. This is just how I do my hair. And that's that. I just don't want people arguing with me because I'm not here for it, you know? So just based on questions that I saw, I wrote down a bunch of different topics I just kind of wanted to cover. I don't think this is going to be in any specific order because there's a lot to it, but I'm just going to kind of go down my list. So the first thing is the products I use to color. So I'm not going to delve into what I use as far as lightening my hair or bleaching, as that's what you're going to call it. You guys are going to call it bleaching. I call it lightening. I'm not going to go over that. One, because what I use professionally on myself and my clients is not cruelty free because there are not very many, and because I share with another person. And we've only been in our own space for about 5 months where we have the option to buy our own products. And a lot of the cruelty free stuff is really, really expensive. And it's just so limited on what I can actually purchase that even is cruelty free, so I'm not going to delve into that yet. It is something I would eventually like to switch to, but as of right now, in this moment in my life, I just can't afford to make that big of a switch in my salon, and with having a partner, I'm not going to force her to do that either. It's just not fair. So we're sticking with what we know, but as far as styling products and stuff I use on myself, I am venturing more into it. It's a slow process, but I'm getting into it. But that is why I'm not going to talk about kind of the professional products that I use on myself, especially because most of you guys aren't professionals. You don't have access to getting those things anyway, so it doesn't really matter. My biggest piece of advice is don't ever bleach your own hair at home. I know that not everyone can afford to go to a salon, but bleach can just be so destructive to your hair if you do it improperly. It can be hard to come back from if you ruin your hair, so I just really advise you not do it. I know you might want it, and if you can't afford it, I get it, but just trust me when I say don't bleach your hair at home. And I know I'm going to get people in the comments saying, well, I've been bleaching it myself for years. I don't care. I don't care how long you've been doing it. If you have a system at home and it works for you, great. But if you've never bleached your own hair before, I don't recommend it. Do not do it. Try to go to a professional for that. But moving on, the products that I use as far as the fun colors in my hair, I've used lots of different things. The cruelty-free things that I've used are Arctic Fox, which I absolutely love and adore. It smells like grape soda and it's so good. I've used the Lime Crime brand before, but I didn't love it. But I also used the tinted one, not the opaque one, and it didn't do much. It just did a little something and it came out in one wash. So I mean, it was okay. It wasn't horrible, but I don't know if I would ever buy it again, you know what I mean? I have Pulp Riot in my hair right now, which I'm pretty sure Pulp Riot as a brand is cruelty-free, but they're owned by L'Oreal, who is not. So it's one of those weird sticky situations. And I've used Pulp Riot, I think, twice now in my lifetime, and I like it for the most part. I feel like it's the same as every other one I've used so far as lasting power besides the Lime Crime one. That one was the worst. The Pulp Riot's lasting a decent amount of time. I've only washed my hair once since I did it a week ago, and it's holding up fine. I liked the consistency of it a lot because it was more serum-y, but Pulp Riot's also one that you cannot get if you're not a professional. Arctic Fox and the Lime Crime you are able to get. Arctic Fox I recommend purchasing directly from their site because it's cheaper, but they do sell it at Sally's for a slightly higher price. I also use Matrix So Color Cult a lot, which Matrix is the brand that we do use. I guess I'll just say that now, whatever. Matrix is the brand that we use. They're not cruelty free. I, again, want to eventually venture out away from it, but for now it's what I'm used to and what I'm comfortable with, and I have a clientele. I'm not getting into it any more than that. But the So Color Cult line's been really great. I use that the most just because it's just what's the most accessible to me when I'm shopping for the stuff I'm already getting. But I switch back and forth for the most part between the So Color Cult, Pulp Riot, and Arctic Fox. I like all three of those very much. They all have very great lasting power and they smell good. I used to use Pravana and it stains like crazy, and I also don't feel like it lasts very long. I don't know, it's weird, but that's another professional one you can't get anyways. I guess let's just stay sticking in with the actual maintenance of my color itself. I try to wash my hair as least often as possible. With these fun colors, they literally fade with every wash. Every wash they will fade a little bit. They do not last a long time. They are not permanent. They're not gonna last very long. I wash my hair with cold water when it's freshly done because I want to keep it fresh as long as possible. It sucks washing your hair with cold water, especially when it gets on your body. I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty used to it. I have a system. I just turn on the cold water, I get my hair nice and wet, I step out of it, I go to hot again, I wash my hair outside of the water. Then when it's time to rinse, I flip it back to the cold, and it's just a back and forth thing. It's not fun, but it gets the job done. I wash my hair as least often as humanly possible. I usually wash mine about every 4 to 6 days, just depending on how my hair is feeling and what day that falls on. I do find that when my roots are freshly bleached that my hair can last longer without being washed, which is cool. But yeah, for the most part, I go 4 to 6 days, cold water. As it gets longer since I've had it, like maybe it's been a few weeks and I don't care if it fades at that point, I'll start using hot water again. I'll not usually wash it more often than every 3 to 4 days because I prefer not to wash it very often. 4 days is usually my sweet spot. But that's pretty much the maintenance of it. The cold water versus hot water is going to open up your hair shaft, and it's just gonna allow that pigment to flow out of your hair a lot quicker, whereas cold water keeps it a lot more closed, so less of the pigment is gonna fall out of your hair essentially. It's the same idea when washing your face. If you wash your face with hot water, it opens your pores, and you splash it with cold water, it closes your pores. Same idea with your hair shaft. So if you want your color to last, cold water is your best friend, and dry shampoo is your best friend if you want to go without washing it. I know some people have a hard time not washing their hair more than a day. A lot of people I know can't go more than a day, and honestly I feel like a lot of it is just some people's hair types need to be washed more often. My hair doesn't get super oily until it's been about 4, 5, or 6 days. It just depends. I love dry shampoo. I have 2 favorites. My number 1 favorite right now is the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. It's so good. It makes my hair feel so clean without it feeling tacky, and it doesn't really leave a white cast on my hair. I also really like the Lush No Drought. I don't have any more of it, but it's a loose powder, and you just kind of shake it onto your head, and it works really well. That one's very heavy duty. That's good for my days when my hair is extra dirty, but I like both of these a lot. I love dry shampoo, especially like in my bangs so they don't start splitting and looking dirty. I don't know, it just gives my hair a very nice refreshed look. Heat also fades your hair color. If you use a lot of hot tools on your hair like flat irons and curling irons, it does fade your hair faster. I do find, and you'd probably notice too if you like looked back at my older videos, my bangs typically fade faster than the rest of my hair just because usually I don't style my hair too much, but I almost always have to do something with my bangs just because they'll do like a wonky thing in my sleep, or they'll start to droop down too straight and I need to have them bumped a little bit. So I do have to flat iron my bangs and fix them up pretty much every day. So you'll notice that my bangs do fade faster than the rest of my hair, and it's because of the amount of heat that I have to put on my bangs versus the rest of my hair. Heat protection is very important. I don't want to say it's worse than chemical damage, but heat damage is no joke. It can get to the point where your hair is just so awful, and the only way you can reverse that is to cut it off. Same with chemical damage, but I don't know, it just drives me nuts when people let their hair get heat damage because there are so many ways to avoid it. One, you do not need to use the hottest setting on your irons. You really don't. It's so much more productive to use a smaller section and do one slow pass with low heat than taking like a giant chunk of hair and trying to fit it all in the flat iron multiple times on high heat. Don't do that, it's not good for your hair. My favorite heat protection items are the Kenra blow dry spray. This is what I use if I do blow dry my hair, which I do not blow dry my hair often. For the most part, I let it air dry. The only time you'll catch me blow drying it is if I absolutely have to blow dry it. Like I have to have my hair dried to go do something. But I usually plan my hair washing days at a time where I can let it air dry, because I just don't like blow drying my hair. I don't even have a fancy blow dryer here at my house. I have a very cheap Conair blow dryer because I just don't blow dry my hair. But I love this. It smells like candy. It speeds up the blow dry time. It has heat protection in it, and it's so nice. I love this product, and Kenra is a cruelty-free brand, and pretty much everything I've used from them I've loved. And then this one you can use wet or dry. This is the Amika Blockade. I only discovered this recently, but I really like it. It's a heat defense serum. Put this on damp or dry hair. So on the days that I'm flat ironing or curling my hair, I will put 1 or 2 pumps in my hand, rub them together, and then work it through my hair and then brush it through. And I really enjoy this. It's not too heavy in my hair, and I just think it works like a charm. I mean, it's been keeping my hair nice and soft, and it has heat protection in it. It helps with shine. I guess while we're talking about styling products, we can talk about the rest of the ones that I really like to use. This leave-in conditioner I got in a BoxyCharm. It's the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair leave-in conditioner. I really like it. I don't know if I'll repurchase it, but I will use it up until it's gone, and I'll either repurchase this one or snag one from Amika or something like that. I haven't found like my perfect leave-in conditioner. It's just kind of a trial and error thing, finding one that's not too heavy but still gets the job done. I feel like for the most part they all do relatively the same thing. It just depends on what you're looking for with your hair. But I will say I have been liking this one, and I'm gonna keep using it until it's gone. I always use this right when I get out of the shower. I will towel dry my hair a little bit, spray this in, comb it through, and that's it. It's super simple. On days that I want to have my hair big and curly and textured and messy, I like to go in with this Kenra Air Grip Spray. It's really nice. It just adds lots of texture. It breaks up my curls really nicely. On days that I really want it messy and big and crazy. My hair is really hard to get big and messy and crazy because it's so fine and straight, but basically, if I have a ton of dry shampoo and a ton of this stuff, it helps a lot give it some of that grip. Really quick, my hair type is I have fine hair strands. My hair is naturally straight, but I have a lot of it. So I feel like my hair is deceptive because it doesn't look like I have an insane amount of hair, but I actually do. I actually keep a lot of it shaved. Like I keep both of my sideburns shaved, and I have my undercut shaved back here just because I have so much hair to deal with, so it's just so much easier for me to keep a lot of it shaved off. I've had it like this for probably about a year, maybe a little bit more, actually. I love having my undercut. It's a lifesaver, especially with my hair being at this length, but that's about that. My hair is straight, fine, but a lot of it. Quickly delving into shampoos and conditioners, Zane and I have been using these ones from the Body Shop. We have the strawberry, the shea butter, and the banana. The strawberry one is good for dull hair. It helps add shine. The banana is good for nourishment. It's good for dry hair. And the shea butter one is good for extremely dry hair. I didn't think I liked this one at first. I felt like it made my hair feel like hard, but I only notice that it does that if my hair is very full of dry shampoo. Like it was a week that I put a ton of it in, because I wash my hair when I have little to no dry shampoo with this, and it was fine. So I guess it just doesn't mesh well with very dry shampoo-y hair. But I really do like the strawberry and banana one. They both smell really good. They feel really nice in my hair. They aren't specifically color safe, but like I said, your hair is going to fade regardless. You just don't want to use something stripping. Like you don't want to use a dandruff shampoo or a tea tree shampoo or a clarifying shampoo or anything like that, because that's just going to open your hair cuticle even more, and that pigment is going to fall out a lot easier. There are specific color safe shampoos that are good to have. Like if you're going to want to keep your hair up, color safe is gonna be the way to go, but I haven't had a problem with using these. But I also have the ability to refresh my hair color whenever I want to, whereas most people don't. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's very personal, but these have been working really well for me. As far as conditioner, the only actual conditioner I have on hand is the Body Shop strawberry one, and it smells just like the shampoo. It's really nice, but for the most part I like to use a mask because, like I said, I use so much dry shampoo. I need to make sure my hair is getting extra nourishment, and I prefer the Amika Soul Food Nourishing Mask. I got this recently when I was picking up supplies for my salon, and I really like it. I barely even dipped into it. It still has so much product in here, but I've used this so much. It's great. I like to put this on my hair when it's time to condition it, and I will let it sit for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long I feel like letting it sit while I do other things like shave my legs or, I don't know, do a mask, different things like that. Like I'll do whatever. I'll just let this chill and then I'll rinse it out. My hair feels really nice. I really enjoy it. Some of you wanted to know if I use any of those color depositing shampoos or conditioners such as Overtone. I do not. I never have. Mostly just because I've never felt so committed to a color that I want to keep it up for so long. Like I don't mind that my hair fades because then I can change it more often. So I've never tried anything like that, but you totally can if you want to keep up with your color. Like if you have a color you love, I would recommend getting something like that because then you can keep up with it a lot easier without having to actually color it too often. But basically what it is it's just got those color pigments mixed in with the shampoo or conditioner, whichever you get, and it's just going to deposit the color while also cleansing or conditioning your hair. I didn't mention this earlier, but pretty much if you're coloring your hair with the semi-permanents, like these fun colors, you could totally do that at home. It's essentially a tinting conditioner. It's not going to damage your hair. They are very nourishing. I've never found one that's not. It's the bleaching and the other coloring. Anything that has to do with a developer and letting it actually process, that's when it's going to do any kind of anything to your hair. Everything else is very nourishing. You could probably fall asleep with Arctic Fox on your hair and you would be fine. It would just feel very nice and soft. Probably a little extra soft in the morning because it's just so nourishing. Another trick you can do if you want to keep up with your color but don't want to pay for like overtone or something, but you have some extra color that you used on your hair, is you can squirt some of that color in with your conditioner and mix it up, and it will also do the same kind of thing. It'll deposit some while you put the conditioner in your hair. Sometimes if I really feel lazy and need to refresh it but don't want to actually refresh it, I'll just mix some of my color, squirt some into my deep conditioning treatment and put it in my hair and let it chill for 15 minutes or so. And it helps refreshen it. It doesn't make it as opaque as it would if you were to full on color it when it's dry, but it does the job for a quick fix. I have so many things to talk about, guys. Sorry if this is all over the place. I am trying to cover everything. Everybody wants to know why my hair is so soft and healthy and how I change my hair so often and how I deal with bleaching it all the time. The thing is, I don't bleach my hair all the time. I do not bleach the hair that's already been bleached. Every 2 to 3 months, however long I can get away with, usually 2 is the average, I bleach my roots. I let my roots process, I rinse it out, and then I color it with one of these fun colors, which, like I said before, they don't harm your hair, they make it feel good. So I don't bleach my whole hair. Like, I'm not bleaching my hair every time I color it. I hope no one ever continues to think that, because it actually drives me nuts that people just assume I'm bleaching my hair all the time, because I am not. I will not bleach my hair that's already been bleached because I don't want to risk it feeling bad. With this color, for instance, I mixed mostly blush from Pulp Riot with a little bit of Cleopatra, and I knew it was going to turn my ends a little bit lavendery because I still had that residual minty blueness going on, but I don't mind the way it looks. I just kind of roll with it because it looks like I put more effort into this color than I actually did. It looks like I used multiple shades when really I just squished it on my head and let it do its thing. Typically, when I'm switching around hair colors, I try to work around the color wheel as best as possible. Like last year when I first started coloring it in January, I went from green to blue to purple, you know what I mean? Like I just followed the color wheel. I sticked with the cool, worked my way to the warm. This past Christmas time though, I did a big switch. I went from neon orange to green, and they are pretty opposite of each other on the color wheel. Like it's a totally opposite end of the spectrum. So for that, what I did was I was washing my hair a lot with very like heavy shampoos, like clarifying shampoos, dish soap. I think I used my Dr. Bronner's a couple times. I use a bunch of different things just to fade my hair as much as possible. I was washing it every single day and I got it faded out as much as I could, and then I put the green over top of it. I did not bleach my hair to get that. I just threw it over top of it once it was light enough. It did end up turning a little more tealy because I mixed in a slight bit of blue with that green to try to counteract the orange, but it ended up going more teal than green, so I had to do the green again, but that's a whole thing. But then I wanted to make the switch from that greeny teal color to like that lavendery pinky color that I had around February. And for that, I used the Pulp Riot Blank Canvas, which is a color remover that helps remove the fun colors. And it is a mild bleaching agent. It is going to lift your natural color if you were to leave it on there as well, but it's nowhere near as harsh as actually bleaching it. And I did that with the most mild developer I could. I had it on my hair for maybe 20 minutes while my roots were bleaching, and I mean, it was fine. My hair felt fine afterwards, but it's not something I would do every time just because I don't want to risk it, you know what I mean? So that's really the only time I've used anything like that. I try really hard not to do things like that to my hair because I don't want my hair to feel bad. My hair stays really soft and shiny because of the lack of heat I put on it, the lack of bleach I put on my ends. I also just have really resilient hair. It's very nice hair. Like, that it kind of sucks because I can't give a lot of you advice as far as just having your hair naturally soft and shiny, because I don't really suffer with frizz. I don't have texture in my hair at all. It's pretty flat and straight and floppy. It's nice because it stays soft and silky, but it's also frustrating because it's hard to make it do anything fun as far as like curls or texture or anything like that goes. I know that's a very long-winded way of saying I have nice hair, but that's just how it is. Some people have nicer hair than others. Some people have hair that's better for these kinds of colors than other people. My natural hair is also an extremely dark brown. A lot of people think it's dark blonde, which it's not. If you've seen any of my videos where my roots are showing, it's a dark brown. Like it is in between a level 4 and a level 5, which is a dark brown. So it goes a long way when I have to bleach my hair. To get the colors that I have, that my hair has to be lifted practically white. If you have any more yellow in your hair, it's just gonna affect the color that you're putting over top of it. And that's about that. The colors that fade the best, in my opinion, are purples and pinks. They fade really nice, they fade really gradual, they don't ever turn to a funky color. I love the way those fade. The ones that fade the worst are blues and greens. They can easily turn into a swampy mess. I hate the way my hair looks when it's green and it fades to that weird teal color. I hate it so much. I get a lot of compliments, but I hate it. And I've seen blues and greens fade so nasty, swampy looking. I hate the way they fade. I talk almost all of my clients out of getting blues in their hair. Everybody wanted to know what color I'm going to have it for my wedding. I don't know. That's a long time from now. It's over a year from now. I know I want it to be a pastel-y color, but I'm not sure what, so that's why I've just been playing with pastels this year. Some of you also wanted to know where I get my inspiration for my hair colors. I don't ever have a full-on inspiration. I never find a picture and say I want that. I do occasionally, but it's not often. I usually just kind of roll with it. I see what my hair is kind of fading to, and then I decide what would work best with it. And I just go from there. I'm pretty chill about my hair, honestly. I had questions about scalp health and how you keep your scalp nice and healthy. There is a brand called Malibu Sea Professional. They are a vegan and cruelty-free brand. I'm pretty sure all their stuff is vegan, but it's a professional line, so you have to go to somebody that carries this stuff or is willing to do this treatment with you. But they have a scalp treatment that's amazing. It really just helps get all the gunk off your scalp and make it nice and fresh and clean feeling. They also have really good just mineral buildup treatments that are amazing right before you color your hair. It just takes all that old residual just impurity out of your hair and it feels really nice. It doesn't remove color. They do have one that removes color, but that one specifically doesn't remove color, but it does give it a nice blank slate as far as mineral buildup goes. And then I think the last question is, somebody asked if dyeing your hair changes your natural color. It does not. Some people will argue that it does. Like, I've had so many girls in my chair that say, I used to be blonde and then I dyed it brown and now it's brown. It's not that the hair color changed your hair. As you grow older, your hair, as a general rule, gets darker, gets more ashy, gets more drabby. So if you have natural blonde hair, you're gonna see all those extra highlights through the bottoms of your hair because it's been living and lightening your whole life. And then you dye it brown, and then the color that comes out is your natural. You just don't have those highlights showing anymore from the sun. So no, dyeing your hair does not affect your natural color. It'll only affect what is grown out of your head. I think that's all I have to say. Hopefully I covered everything. Don't do your hair at home unless it's these semi-permanent colors. These are fine. As long as it's a non-oxidative color, which means you don't mix it with developer, you can do it yourself as far as like purples and reds and things like that. Just don't do it yourself. I don't recommend it, and I don't want anyone arguing with me in the comments saying that you do it yourself. If you do it yourself and it works, that's fine. This is just towards people that don't know anything. I don't recommend you doing it yourself. Go to a professional. A lot of people wanted to know what are some accessible bleaching things they can do themselves, like what they can get at Sally's. I'm not recommending anything, like I said in the beginning, because I don't recommend you do your own hair, and I'm not going to be liable for you messing your hair up because I said something. I don't have too many options for drugstore items because pretty much any of the drugstore hair items that I've found are not cruelty-free, and I also personally just don't really like. Professional hair care is very important to me. I think it makes a huge difference. I've been using professional lines for 6 or 7 years now, maybe even 8 or 9. It might have even been 8 or 9 before I even went to cosmetology school. I just think it makes a huge difference. And I think that's just where I'm gonna leave it. My hair does not get bleached all the time. I take very good care of my hair. And if you have any questions of things I did not answer, leave them down below and I'll try my best to answer them. If you enjoyed this hair care video, please give it a thumbs up. I know it was all over the place, but I had a lot of information to give and I didn't even know where to start. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's beautbean. Follow me there. I post every single day, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I post at least 5 days a week, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. We will see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.